So now I'm zooming on the work of the Working Party 5D, which is the IMT, the one that is delivering the IMT specifications. And usually in the life cycle of a specific technology standardization from ITU perspective, we have three stages. So the first stage is the stage where you do the framework, and it all starts with something called FTT, Future Technology Trend Report. So ITU usually deliver an initial report talking about what do we aspire, what are the anticipated developments that the community is requiring. And that was published in December 2022 for 6G, and then followed by a main brick or a main milestone in the standardization journey, which is actually delivering the recommendation of the technology itself, which we call it IMT, and then the year of the production. So IMT 2030 set the recommendation of the 6G, the one that had this kind of palette, the one that had this kind of ITU wheel stating the objective and the capabilities of 6G, and that was published in November 2023. And then that was followed by some sort of report about the spectrum. But with that, ITU concluded the framework part. So now we can say confidently that we have a 6G framework. So for all of you, for all professionals who wants to read and get information, digest the information, try to expect what's coming. So the framework, it is already there and already published. The next phase is actually the requirements and the evaluation criteria. Usually, after finalizing the framework, ITU publish a technical performance requirement that state exactly what are the minimum requirements for these objectives to be, I would say, adopted as a technology. For example, in 4G, one of the documents, which was the M2410, it said, you know what, for 4G, the minimum requirements for the data rate or the peak data rate is 20 gigabit per second in downlink and 10 gigabit per second in uplink. So these are the guidelines of 4G. If you succeed to achieve that rate, then you are 4G. If you are not, then you are not 4G yet. So this is the logic. So this document is still ongoing. So there are ongoing efforts to do this document. And then evaluation criteria methodology, they set how, like a clear document on how can we validate or test these objectives. But what is very interesting here and relevant to us is the circular letter. This is the letter that ITU invites all the SDOs to come and contribute and provide proposals. This is the initial step that form or that triggered the 3GPP process, which is the entity usually concerned with the telco standardization, in addition to other entities for sure. But I'm talking here about 3GPP because it is the most relevant entity. So what is good, I mean, and that's a good progress relatively, that this letter has already been issued, and that was issued in meeting 47, so by the end of 2024. And actually, that triggered 3GPP to start their work. So 3GPP started their work to study the 6G requirements, and I will present that in one of the slides. The next phase, or the next 3 years, we expect to start getting the proposals from the technology or the SDOs. We expect to start to see 3GPP specifications about 6G radio, 6G core, and that will be on the phase from 2027 to 2029. And 2027, 2029, when we say 2 years, usually a release in 3GPP takes 2 years. So it's somehow aligned with 3GPP way of work. So I would expect that in 2029, we will have a stage 3 of 3GPP specifications, like a clear specification of 6G, and that will open the door to publish the IMT 2030 specification or the final specification of 6G aligned with 3GPP. And when we do that, we realize the IMT 2030, because 2030, we need to finalize the specifications, and hopefully by 2030, we will have the first 6G production deployment. So this is from the ITU side. let's see how 3GPP takes that from the ITU and how 3GPP take that forward.